This is M-Dog20, Matt Cross, and you're listening to True Heel Heat.
What's up, guys? It's Wolverine, Death Machine, Mr. GMSI himself, Brian Cage, and you're watching True Heel Heat. Who better? Nobody.
Yo, what up? You know what it is. It's your boy AJ Francis reporting to you live from New York City, the birthplace of hip-hop. And I'm telling you that I'm only tuned in with True Heel Heat Wrestling. Holla at me.
What's going on, everybody? This is your former AEW World Heavyweight Champion. Once a champion, always a champion. Swerve Strickland. Whose house? Swerve's house. You're watching True Heel Heat podcast.
Hello, hello, hello. It is me, your True Heel Phenom, SP3, and shout outs to Romeo, because we got hooked up with a brand new intro, New Japan intro for NJPW Fighting Spirit Unleashed 2024 preview. We're here to discuss this Friday's show live on the True Heel Heat YouTube channel, Facebook, and Romeo's Twitter. This Friday's show from Lowell, Massachusetts, the latest NJPW Strong event from the US of A. We got a lot to discuss because we are back with the main man, the MC of the past, present, and future of New Japan Pro Wrestling here on the True Heel Heat YouTube channel. It's your boy, J-News.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen across the world watching True Heel Heat today. It is a day where we're going to break down I think Friday's the show? Friday's the show, right?
This Friday.
Show. Talking to New Japan goodness, New Japan strong stuff going down in Laurel, Massachusetts. Got some things to discuss. I'm sure SP3 will ask me for my thoughts about certain events that transpired over the last couple of days. But hey, we're here for that, and that's what we're going to do.
Yes, if you didn't join us for our Power Struggle 2024 review, we want to say, first of all, why didn't you? You should probably check that out because that was great stuff. Me and Sanal breaking down the latest Japan show from New Japan Pro Wrestling, the last big major event in Japan for New Japan Pro Wrestling before the 2 nights in the Tokyo Dome, NJPW Wrestle Kingdom 19, as well as Wrestle Dynasty on January 4th and 5th. We had a lot to discuss from there, so we'll ask J-News for some quick bits from there. But go over and check that out. Drop the thumbs up on the video. Let us know in the comments down below on that one what you thought about that. But J-News didn't join us for that, and I think that's why our good brother Romeo, once again, shout outs to him, hooking us up with the brand new intro. He showed, we previewed the new countdown that we got for the channel, but that was my first time seeing the intro. I like the intro. What did you think?
Yeah, man, the intro was cool. I was not aware of the new intro stuff, so that was new to me. Both from what I saw, it was both AEW and WWE stuff, and then we got our New Japan intro as well in there. So shouts to Romeo for the good work doing the intro. I wasn't necessarily informed that I would be part of the intro, but hey, appreciate the help out.
Why wouldn't you be a part of the intro? Have you seen like any of the intros, the flagship podcast, AE Ramble? The people that host the show is usually a part of the intro. Like we're on the cast of Family Matters.
Of course, obviously. But yeah, that makes sense. That was cool. It was cool. So yeah. So, next time there's a pod, know the intros are coming, folks. Know the intros are coming.
Indeed. Thank you once again to Romeo, and thank you to all of you if you're joining us live. We appreciate y'all if you are joining us live. I'll just get it out the way now. We understand that a lot of people is either feeling sick, depressed, annoyed, disappointed, not surprised, very surprised. And then there are some people are probably that watch this channel that is happy and ecstatic and overjoyed with the news that went down yesterday in the old US of A. However you feel, we want to give you kind of a release from that, an exit from that, a break from all of those feelings. We are here to talk some New Japan Pro Wrestling and not any politics. So we appreciate y'all if you're joining us live. Appreciate y'all if you're watching us on demand. Remember to show your appreciation back the simplest way possible. Let's drop the thumbs up on this video. You can also share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you're new to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, welcome. We are one of the main channels that covers all of professional wrestling, WWE, AEW, TNA wrestling. We dabble in the Joshi world, Japanese pro wrestling, and of course, New Japan Pro Wrestling with our previews and reviews of every major show, whether it be in Japan or the US or the UK. So we appreciate y'all for joining us. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and help us to our goal of 20,000 subscribers before the end of 2024. And of course, if you're watching us on Facebook, drop a heart, drop a like, a laugh emoji, an angry emoji. However Fighting Spirit Unleashed makes you feel, you can let us know with those emotes. Watching us on the Twitter page, retweet it and drop the heart on it. And of course, sound off in the live chat if you're watching on any of those 3 platforms. We love to interact with all of you and hear your thoughts on NJPW's Fighting Spirit Unleashed show this coming Friday. And of course, if you're feeling generous, you want to give back to what we do here, the best way to do that is with a super chat donation. Any dollar amount matters. It goes back to the contributors that you usually see on screen with us here. So we always appreciate the support. Like our main man, I Make Beats, who is also a member of the channel. You can hit the join button for $1 a month and become a member as well. He says, just saying hi, getting pizza, gotta go. Great to see you. Thank you for the love, I Make Peace. We always appreciate you popping in, showing some love with us with a super chat donation. We got Ninja Mortis says, really need some distraction. I'm sick as fuck. He says, common cold sick. I ain't surprised by shit. That's fine. We're here to give you some entertainment, Ninja Mortis, and we hope you feel better from the common cold, because cold stuff has been going around. It's been going around, so we understand, good brother. But yes, we got to talk some Fighting Spirit Unleashed. But before we do that, we got to hear from J-News, because Power Struggle was, it went on the streak of the King of Pro Wrestling, which was a very noteworthy and eventful show, with Zack Sabre Jr. winning the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. You had the big challenges from Sanada, Shota Umino, Shingo Takagi coming out of that show. There was a lot to unwrap from that show, but I think that even Power Struggle outdid King of Pro Wrestling when it comes to noteworthy events, whether it be Kenny Omega making his return and saying that he's going to make his in-ring return on January 5th at Wrestle Dynasty, getting into a backstage brawl with Gabe Kidd. And since then, comparing the backstage brawl with Gabe Kidd to another incident that he had in AEW, and that Gabe is as unprofessional as that other guy. He won't say his name. You also had some new champions being crowned. Hanare and the Great Okan becoming the IWGP World Tag Team Champions. You had TMDK's Ichiban Sweet Boys, Kosei Fujita and Robbie Eagles becoming the Super Junior Tag League winners and setting up a four-way with the Intergalactic Jet Setters, the champions, as well as Catch 22, who beat the Jet Setters in block action in the tournament, and then the Bullet Club War Dogs beating up everybody to set up a four-way for Wrestle Kingdom. Speaking of Wrestle Kingdom, you had Doki defending his title against Master Wato and retaining it. And then it was El Desperado making his return to New Japan Pro Wrestling to set up that matchup for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship at Wrestle Kingdom. You had David Finlay making a challenge to Yota Tsuji for Wrestle Kingdom. Zack Sabre Jr. beating Shingo Takagi in a great matchup in the main event, and then getting challenged by Shota Umino, which did become SP3 is right. That's one of our catchphrases on this channel. SP3 is right. Shota Umino versus Zack Sabre Jr. in the main event of the Dome. And then the extra surprise on top of that, Ricochet coming out from AEW, making his return to New Japan and challenging Zack for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. And that match being official for January 5th at Wrestle Dynasty. But all of that is not what we're going to ask you about first. You can talk about all of that after you're done talking about the major news, because me and Sanal were both like, I did pull back the curtain, and I said you did call out of work early. You did call out a day before the show. So maybe you were tipped off. Maybe you didn't know. I don't know. We can find out right now. But it was very convenient for you not to show up to the Power Struggle review when your favorite wrestler, Sanada, joins up with your most hated wrestler, David Finlay, as Sanada broke the hearts of all the fans, Tai Chi, the Just Five Guys, and Sanal, who said that she officially filed her divorce from Sanada as he broke the heart of her holy emperor, Tai Chi, and joined up with David Finlay in the Bullet Club War Dogs. J-News, your thoughts, your reaction to the big time.
There are things in the wrestling world, in the wrestling sphere, that sometimes you can see coming, right? You can project it based on context clues, the breadcrumbs, as they say, little inklings of things of that nature. There were no such subtleties in this here. We got a turn that, for the life of me, I did not understand. I really didn't. Not saying that it broke me, because it didn't break me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know Sonata as a man. I don't understand necessarily what the conversations were with David Finlay and all that jazz. And even within the structure of the hierarchy of talent within New Japan, it just seems kind of off that Sonata is under David Finlay. But whatever, it happened. It happened, right? I'll say this: Sonal, for all intents and purposes, my dear, if you're watching this, not live, but later on, because I know she's busy with work at times, I cannot blame you for the divorce. I cannot blame you for taking down the signed Sonata poster in your room, which she videotaped, by the way. She put it on Twitter.
Yes, she did. She did. She put it on Twitter. And then she positioned her camera during the review so we could see the blank space on her wall.
Yeah, man, it's strange, dude. It really, really is. I get that they as in New Japan wanted to infuse something, wanted to give the storylines a spark going into Wrestle Kingdom. I get all that. I'm not trying to detract from that. I just find it strange that now this is Sonata's third faction, right? And yeah, it's like, well, he really then doesn't belong anywhere, really, because eventually
he's a faction whore.
Yeah, he's not going to be part of the War Dogs eventually. He's just going to go wherever the hell he wants to go. Like, is this a real plan? And then yet again, I would then say that with this happening, right, something was a little bit amiss for me by the end of the segment, right? I think David Finlay walked out with Gato. He left the ring and he walked out with Gato. Sonata was nowhere to be found. Like, Sonata did his grunt-in. He caused Taichi the match, but Sonata didn't walk out with David Finlay. And I was like,
he probably went to the back to do his post-match comments so he could do it.
I didn't see the post-match. I didn't see Finlay.
While Finlay did the face-off with Yota Tsuji.
I saw Finley's post-match stuff, but I didn't see Sonata stuff. So, but whatever the case is, it is strange. It was unexpected. Am I gonna sit here and say I'm no longer shooting in the gym with Sonata? I mean, with the way the hierarchy works, and now he's under David Finlay. Like, bro, I can't even be in the same space with you, man. Like, this doesn't work for me. Like, you were the lead guy in Just Five Guys, and now you're under David Finlay. Like, what are we doing to Sonata? Like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? I just don't see it. I don't feel it. You know, Taichi felt, look, this is a betrayal, right? He betrayed the Holy Emperor. Like, it was a big deal. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I don't get it. And his personality, right? His physical disposition is not one of a savage. He's not a war dog. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what are we doing here? Like, I don't know. If we get a complete and utter shift of who Sonata has been, cool. I just, for the life of me, and to the points you've been making for years, I don't see it happening. I just don't see it happening that way. Like, his cool, calm, what was the former moniker that he had? The Cold Skull stuff?
Cold Skull. Right?
Like, he's gonna retain that. There's not going to be any liveliness out of Sonata. How is this going to work? The War Dogs, as a faction, as a unit, have a brand, have a physical brand. He does not fit that physical brand. He just does it. Now,
well, neither did David Finlay. I think David Finlay has grown into that. Yeah. But Jake Lee, because I do agree with Ninja Mortis here, who says Jake Lee didn't get hurt. Does this happen? Probably not.
I'm not, because here's the thing: we're introducing a new member of the faction, right? So Jake Lee if Jake Lee was supposed to have taken the spot, he already debuted. So how does this
No, I don't think this would have been the spot to do this. I think that this was all made for because when the match was set up between Taichi and David Finlay, Jake Lee was already hurt, but they had to basically turn someone because I think I can probably if my prediction is going to be correct, I would say that Sonata's going to be the tag team partner of Gabe Kidd in the World Tag League.
I guess that makes sense just due to what just happened. But yeah, man, the demeanor, the physicality, it doesn't work in this case. You're making the point that Jake Lee doesn't, but then Jake Lee's new to New Japan, quote unquote, right? So it would have with time, he would have gotten there. You know what I'm saying? But with Sonata, it's like we got all this stuff with Sonata. For all these years, it's like he don't fit the bill, fam. He doesn't fit the bill. Now, if you were to tell me that the War Dogs are like in takeover mode, and like we got like because he was getting booed, we got Shooter in this freaking in this role. Okay, you know what I'm saying? But Sonata, I was like, come on, give me a freaking break.
Hey, Sonata got booed too. He got booed out the building against Zach at Royal Quest. And the fans cheered for Shooter against Sonata. And they hate Shooter right now, but they still cheered Shooter against Sonata.
I guess, man. Look,
Sonata needed a change. I am all for this.
Another one?
He needed a change because like I said all last year, his world title reign wasn't up to snuff.
Right.
It was not up to snuff. It did not work. It did not make him a permanent top guy for the company. He needed yet another change. And that change is saying, dude, you're better off as a number 2. You're not the number 1 guy. You never were going to be the number 1 guy. We didn't want to make you Goto 2.0. So we finally gave you a world title win. But that's it. It didn't work. We're giving up. You're going to be a number 2 guy. And then they just had to fit the pieces in the right spot. And I think that this heel turn was more impactful than his entire reign. That was the first impactful thing Sonata has done in 18 months since he won the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship.
We got to see where this goes. We really have to see where this goes because yet again, to the point I was making before, he doesn't fit the culture of the War Dogs. So it's like we'll see if anything happens from it. We'll see if he's able to adapt. Because if it's going to be a wholesale change, I'm all for it. I just don't see it from everything that's happened within Sonata's history in New Japan. I just don't see it. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. What else, man? Props to Despy for coming out and challenging Doki. Doki beat Master Wato, so we were both wrong at the end of the day.
That was a great match, though.
It was a great match.
Great match.
Oh, by the way,
I'm a little upset that Master Wato didn't win. I thought that the best way to put over both guys was have Master Wato win and then Doki get a rematch and you make it a 3-way because we both expected El Desperado to return to be the challenger for Wrestle Kingdom, but you could have made this a 3-way.
Yeah, but I think the way the New Japan book shows, I think it's just one big multi-man match is enough for them, I guess.
Yeah.
So there's that. And even though the Sonata spot overshadowed the match, David Finlay's match versus Taichi was really good. You know what I'm saying?
Taichi, he's getting up there. A lot of people shouting him out as one of the best wrestlers from Japan.
Yeah, man. So shouts to Taichi for putting on a banger with David Finlay. So there's that portion of it. The tag league finals was tremendous, man. Like that.
That and the Zach and Shingo were the best 2 matches for me from Power Struggle.
That was amazing, man. Shouts to TMDK. Shouts to Catch 22. Yeah, man. The junior heavyweight tag division seems to be in a better place for the time being. So we'll see how it all boils
Junior
down.
heavyweight tag team division might be the best tag team division in all of wrestling right now.
That's what Walker Stewart was saying. But I'll hold my my choice until I see anything further come down the pike. But Junior Tag League, it did a lot for everybody involved in the tag league overall. Kenny's speech was cool. I think the bit with him and Gabe off camera was cool. It gives for if people haven't mentioned this, I'll mention this. This is a look. For all intents and purposes, yes, Kenny said what he said about Gabe being unprofessional, but we all know that this being on camera, it's more of a work than it is anything else. So, with that being said, this is a big spotlight for Gabe to be in, legitimately. Gabe has stepped up to the plate, so I don't think he's gonna freaking fall flat on his face here. I just wonder what kind of match we're gonna get out of this, per se. So shouts to Kenny. Love to see the cleaner back in the ring. So Wrestle Dynasty can't come fast enough. And this is a big test for Gabe, man. He's
biggest match of his career.
Yeah, it's quite the litmus test, man. So it's like, shouts to Gabe. Hopefully everything goes well. Gabe's had banger matches anyways, but with other competitors. But in Japan, of the non-Japanese wrestlers, in the last decade, Kenny's the freaking bar, man. So hopefully it all goes well, and Gabe is a bigger star because of it. At the end of the day, really, not to say that Gabe's gonna have to win the match. We'll see how that goes, per se. But whenever it goes down, hopefully it does go down at Wrestle Dynasty. And yeah.
What about Ricochet? What did you think?
Man, I've had an interesting time getting to understand who Ricochet the character is outside of WWE, right? And Ricochet for the better part of the 2010s was my favorite wrestler to watch, period, right? Outside of WWE, on the indies and everything else in between, still one of my favorite wrestlers to watch. Interesting to get to know the character now as he is becoming who he is in AEW, New Japan, things of that nature. For him to take the shot at ZSJ for Wrestle Dynasty is quite the leap, right? I think that not that he's not deserving of things of that nature. It's just like, all right, we're putting him in the main event picture. It's sink or swim time, brother.
I was like, he got the push that probably Kushida wanted.
Yeah. So it's like, we're in a place where there's a possibility, not saying that it will happen, but there's a possibility that Ricochet walks into Wrestle Kingdom as AEW International Champion, and there's a possibility that he walks out of Wrestle Dynasty as IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. So it's a big deal because for all intents and purposes, he didn't get thrust into the picture like that when it came to WWE. That is, in the upper mid card, right? Because he was U.S. champion for a bit. I forget if he was an Intercontinental champion or not.
Yeah, he was Intercontinental champion in 2022.
Gotcha. Okay, so but it wasn't never a mainstay thing.
This was when the WWE had lowered kind of the U.S. title, the Intercontinental title to firmly mid card. If he had won it more in the Triple H era of things, then that's an upper mid card spot, one of these secondary titles. But he was doing it in the Vince McMahon era.
There you go. So yeah, man, it's interesting to see him in that position. Hopefully he flourishes in that position because he's betting on himself at this point, and he's doing he's trying to make himself a household name, and now that he's being given that opportunity, hopefully he delivers and he's able to do the damn thing. I just wondered, after Power Struggle, I wondered what's Shingo's take going into Wrestle Kingdom. Like, he's still the never openweight champion, so it's like, who's going to be his challenger? I know that they had the Wrestle Kingdom, one of the Wrestle Kingdom press conferences this morning, so they announced a couple of matches and stuff like that. So I know the full card isn't necessarily there as of yet. So I just wonder what.
But we got 5 matches already was announced this morning with the main event. Exactly what SP3 predicted and J-News didn't want to happen. It's happening. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Shota Umino for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. You also got Doki versus El Desperado for the Junior Heavyweight Championship. David Finlay versus Yota Tsuji for the Global Heavyweight Championship. You got already announced was Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Evil. You got the junior tag team titles, the Intergalactic Jet Setters versus Cash 2 versus the Ichiban Sweet Boys versus the Bullet Club War Dogs. And then I think I'm missing one more. There's probably one more match that I'm misremembering now.
Yeah, I'm not remembering what the other match is right now, because the heavyweight tag team thing isn't going to come to pass until tag league is over. So there's nothing for that. You mentioned Doki versus Despy.
Yeah, Doki versus Despy. It's ZSJ versus Shota Umino. It's Doki versus Despy. It's Finlay versus Tsuji. The junior tag team 4-way.
And then Tanahashi's match is 5.
Tanahashi's match. I think there's 6 matches already announced. The TV title. It's going to be Ren Narita versus Roy Uyowa and Jeff Cobb in a 3-way.
Okay, so they announced that match. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. So I can appreciate that. My hope is love Jeff Cobb. Love you, brother. You know you're my main man. But the hope is at Wrestle Kingdom that they put the strap on Ryohei Oiwa, and they make it, and they put the rocket strap on the kid, man. I mean, come on, do something with these new guys, man. Do something with these.
I think it's gonna be a big night for the new generation, because like win, lose, or draw, Shota Umino's in the main event of the Tokyo Dome.
I still don't know how to feel about that, man.
Honestly, I am happy to see it. I'm happy to see it. They're going full on Stardust genius. They don't give up. He's gonna be the heel on the night, so he's gonna know how to work this. And I think that Yota Tsuji will become the global heavyweight champion. Roy Uyowa will become the TV champion. Kosei Fujita, along with Robbie Eagles, probably the junior heavyweight tag team champions. And then you got Doki, who's got a big spot, win, lose, or draw against El Desperado, really the face and the ace of the junior heavyweight division. So it's a huge night for the new generation.
Do you feel like that would solidify Doki's place in IWGP Junior lore if he actually retains and defeats the El Desperado?
I think that it's a better chance. It's a better chance for him to like stick as a top guy for the junior heavyweights if he wins that matchup. Because I feel like what went a long way for El Desperado to take the mantle, to take the torch from Hiromu was beating Hiromu at Wrestle Kingdom. Beating Hiromu at Wrestle Kingdom really solidified that he was the guy now. Makes
sense. Yeah, man. It was interesting when I woke up today. I flipped on the Twitter and I tried to scroll past all the freaking political rhetoric that was on there. I landed on one of Kieran's tweets from
the only person more doom and gloom about Shota Umino being in the main event of Wrestle Kingdom is Kieran right now.
I was like, dude painted that picture as well as I could. I was like, I completely agree, brother. I don't know what this is supposed to be. I don't feel it. But like I said earlier, man, if they lean into this and they fully turn him, cool. You know, I'm just not sure how long they can ride that line of him just being the same character but yet getting booed type thing. I don't know how long they can ride that, you know? So We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see. But yet again, I'm not
They
sure.
can write it till the wheels fall off, sir. All I care. I'm on that. I'm leading the charge for the shooter bandwagon.
You know what was interesting though? That when Shooter initially challenged ZSJ during the post-match thing, he said, give me a match anytime. Right? It doesn't have to be Wrestle Kingdom. So I was like,
he was trying to make y'all hopeful it would happen before Wrestle Kingdom. I knew what they were doing. I was like, oh, he's gonna have all these people like, oh yeah, maybe he'll do it as Strong Style Evolved.
yeah, Strong Style Evolved. Maybe a New Japan US show or whatever. Maybe his
Strong Style Evolved is the last New Japan USA show. That's what I'm saying.
There you go. There you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Have it there. You know? That's what I thought. But now Shooter's in the main event of Wrestle Kingdom. Somebody made a valid point that Shooter, I think it was Sadal, that Shooter makes he shows up for the big matches, right? And I'm not going to say that he doesn't, because he has. It's just more, it's not the match I'm worried about. It's the position, right? I'm not worried about the match. It's the position. Man, if you're going to be on top, brother, you got to be believable. He ain't believable right now, man. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Believable
as
a heel.
Is not believable right now. He's got to pick a lane, SP3. He's got to pick a lane. That's all I'm saying.
His lane is top guy. That's his lane. Future ace of the promotion. Y'all need to live with it and move on. But we're not here to talk all about Wrestle Kingdom. We'll have a lot more talk about Wrestle Kingdom as we wind things down. We're going to do a review for this show. I probably was aiming for next Monday for that. We also got a preview next week, the historic crossover show that's coming up on the 17th. And then we also got Strong Style Evolved and World Tag League to finish up 2024. So we'll have plenty of talk about Wrestle Kingdom and Wrestle Dynasty in the meantime, between time. But let's get into Fighting Spirit Unleashed. Finally, J-News this Friday. What is your buzz level for Fighting Spirit Unleashed from 0 to 10?
Oh man. Yeah, I'm not the card is good. I'm not gonna say that it's not. But I'm not at a 6.5, 7. It's not, I'm not too high off the hog right now. But we'll see how it all works out in that regard. So
I would say I'm at a 6.5. I like the card, but I'm gonna need like all these matches to deliver what it should deliver or exceed expectations. If I'm gonna come out of this and give the overall show higher than a 6.5, but going in, I'm at a 6.5. Very quickly here, J-News. Let's get into the pre-show matchup. Our usual Strong Survivor match. You got Matt Vandergriff, once again, the Strong Survivor, as he goes one-on-one with Seabass Finn. I don't know much about Seabass Finn. We know Matt Vandergriff has been the mainstay of the Strong Survivor matches on the pre-show of these NJPW Strong events for the entire year of 2024. Do you think he gets another win here?
Yeah, he's there's no way he doesn't. He's gonna be the 2024 Strong Survivor. Can we do something over at New Japan Strong and give this kid some actual competition, please? It's just becoming a bit Goldberg-esque. So
Vandergriff.
Oh my god.
Boom.
We need to, yes. So can we get this guy some freaking competition, please? Anyways, but yeah, Vandergriff for the win. I don't even know who this Seabass guy is. It's a quirky name. It's pro wrestling, so I give him that. But he ain't winning.
Ninja Mortis says Shooter goes heel. Does he join Mox or HOT? Hope to God it's not HOT. Please, not House of Torture. He needs to start BCC Japan and the new or Death Riders of Japan, and he needs to start choking people out with a plastic bag.
You know what? I've never necessarily known New Japan Pro Wrestling to have in-depth storytelling, but I feel, for all intents and purposes, with what's been going on between him and Sonata, I don't see it as a far-fetched idea that they have developed a plan and a ploy to take over the heel side of New Japan Pro Wrestling. And if Shooter Umino becomes IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, and by proxy, or should not by proxy, but if let's say David Finlay loses his global championship at Wrestle Kingdom, there is a swift change in power at the top of the War Dogs that can take place, and Sonata's in place.
Always trying to fire David Finlay and never fails. Jesus Christ!
There's a plan in place that Sonata developed. It was Sonata and Shooter all along. That's what it's about, man. That's what it's about. That's what it's about.
I'm not going to squash your dreams. I've learned from my mother, if your friends have a dream, you should let them live it. But let's go to the main card. Our opening matchup is the aforementioned IWGP Global Heavyweight Champion, David Finlay. We'll go one-on-one with Kevin the Jet Knight, one half of our IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, the Intergalactic Jet Setters. This is a non-title bout after Kevin Knight got the victory in a multi-man tag team matchup against the Bullet Club War Dogs at our last NJPW Strong event for Capital Collision, pinning Drilla Maloney, which led to Kevin Knight and Takeshita defeating Maloney and Connors for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championships back at King of Pro Wrestling. So can David Finlay get some revenge for the Bullet Club War Dogs, or will the Jet get another huge win and a potential future shot at the IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship?
Nah, Finlay wins, and I want Jet to show out and do it and have a good showcase in this match. I'm not trying to discount that. I think Jet needs to be spotlighted a bit more. He has a hell of a lot of talent. He still needs to find character per se, but the in-ring stuff is always going to be of high caliber. So I want him to be able to show up and show out against Finlay. But Finlay retains here. But if he has a really, really good match and he shows that he belongs, hey, 2025 might look really, really bright for Kevin Knight.
Agreed there. I think that Finlay picks up the victory in this non-title matchup, but Kevin Knight, give him like 10, 12 minutes. He's going to show out against David Finlay here. Next up is one of the bigger matches on the card for the NJPW Strong Openweight Tag Team Championships. It will be TMDK's Mikey Nichols, Shane Hayes versus the Grizzled Young Veterans. The GYV, James Drake, Zach Gibson. These two men made the challenge to the winner of TMDK versus Tomohiro Ishii and Hiroshi Tanahashi back at Royal Quest. It was TMDK who retained the titles in a very good matchup against Ishii and Tanahashi. But TMDK is coming off a crucial loss at Power Struggle, where they lost the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team titles to the United Empire's Great-O-Khan and Hanare. And I think my prediction, they're losing another set of titles. You got to give them adversity to overcome, because they are my pick, spoiler alert, for the World Tag League. But they have to go in the World Tag League with no gold. So that is why I'm going with GYV.
So here's a question for you, because as you know, in recent years, my memory is shot. Did TMDK not win Tag League last year, or am I bugging?
TMDK? No, yeah. Bishamon.
No? Bishamon. Okay, all right.
Bishamon always wins.
All right. Okay, fair.
The last what's it been, like 3 years straight?
3 years in a row,
they
yeah.
won World Tag League. Like, yeah, they always win. So
the adversity, I can understand the adversity ploy. Fine. Separate from, GYV hasn't been booked strongly anywhere they've been since mid-June, to say the least. So for them to become New Japan Strong Tag Team Champions, I hope they're able to do something that revitalizes their particular tag division over there. Just because we're getting the 5th iteration of the fucking West Coast Wrecking Crew versus Filthy Tom Lawler and Stop the Hate,
Dirty Work,
and Fred Rosser. So I hope GYV is able to do something for New Japan in that particular regard. I see a lot of like GYV hate on Twitter, which kind of sucks because I'm a big fan.
You supporting it. You supporting it because of how they've been booked.
Nah, man, how am I supporting the hate, brother? I want GYV to do well. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, but I want GYV to do well. I want GYV to be a top tier tag team around the world and stuff like that. If this is the first way to go about it, cool or whatever. To your point, the adversity ploy for TMDK. If they're the ones who end up winning Tag League, cool. They walk into Wrestle Kingdom, go up against Okan and Hanare at this point to regain those championships. Does TMDK walk out with all the gold at Wrestle Kingdom? Maybe. So that would be cool. So yeah, let's do it. I think it's going to be a banger match. If I'm making a pick, yeah, GYV for the win. Why the hell not?
Let's go. New champions. Let's go. Then we got a super chat donation here from J-News #1 fan, Genesis J. Good to see you, good brother. Appreciate you joining us. Number uno. Joining us live. He says, gonna watch from the beginning. He's my dog for real. J-News, you were truly missed. He was giving me heat. He gave me LVP for Power Struggle because I was so happy for David Finlay. And of course, I complimented David Finlay for the great match, for convincing Sonata to turn on Tai Chi and breaking everyone's heart. I gave David Finlay too much credit, and Genesis J gave me LVP.
Yeah. I think there's a more deep-seated underlying story going on here between what's going on with Sonata turning heel and all that jazz. So keep a lookout for all that.
Thank you, Genesis J, for the super chat donation. Next up, one of the matches I'm looking forward to the most on Friday, J-News, as it's going to be Lio Rush one-on-one with Mustafa Ali. These two men did battle with one another just a couple of months back. Was that? I think it was either Windy City. No, right? It wasn't Windy City. I think it was Resurgence. Yeah. I think it was Resurgence. They faced that Resurgence with Mustafa Ali picking up the win despite Lio Rush in the post-match turning into his black heart alter ego and scaring Mustafa Ali away. But because of that and the precarious or cheating ways that Ali got his victory, we have the rematch here. Of course, Lio Rush since then has officially re-signed with All Elite Wrestling, where he seems very happy with his decision. While Ali, who is running things in the X division over at TNA Wrestling, has recently become a free agent. So I don't know if this is maybe Ali picking up a win to firmly get him back into the books after taking the loss to Hiromu Takahashi at Capital Collision. But we shall see. Who do you got? Who do you have winning this one?
I think this turns into a character bit. Like Leo's gonna come out as Blackheart. There might not be an actual finish to this match, so they're gonna elongate whatever's going on between Leo and Mustafa, depending as to whatever they want to do, wherever the next show is going to be for New Japan US specifically, and then we'll have the third blow off match between them, and it'll be something unique and things of that nature. That's my take on it. I'm always up for being completely wrong, but I just feel like that's the way it's going per se, because Mustafa hasn't necessarily found himself outside of TNA, hasn't found himself doing anything that's been of a higher spotlight outside of TNA and now New Japan Strong. By now, and this is a sidebar, but by now I would have thought I would have at least seen 2 or 3 appearances of Mustafa on AEW TV, and it has not happened.
He seems like a guy that AEW should eventually sign to the company.
Yeah, so that's been weird to say that, but he's been all over the rest of the indies, which is obviously him maintaining work and things of that nature. Just I was just trying to express how I feel like he should be spotlighted more, or not spotlighted more, put on a bigger platform. That's the term I'm looking for. So
he also seems like the type of guy who might re-sign with WWE.
That's interesting because he's always talking about never doing that, But in wrestling, as they say in wrestling,
I've heard a bunch of guys say that. Yeah.
So I'm not too sure, but there's exciting matches for Mustafa to have on with some of the AEW talent. So I would like to see it. I've always been a big proponent of like AEW doing their own version of like a freaking cruiserweight classic kind of a thing because of the kind of roster that they have. But I'm not sure if Tony's going to be up for doing something like that. I think it would be great, to be quite honest, just based on the talent, right? And he could be a part of that as a non-AEW talent and things of that nature or whatever, and then eventually get signed, yada, yada, yada. So stuff like that. Right. But with this match, I feel like it'll be a character bit for Leo. Mustafa will run some antics, and there won't be a solid finish. That's my take. But like I said, I could be completely wrong.
Next, we have J-News' favorite match. I trust me, his favorite match on this entire card. Tag team action. This time it will be 2 out of 3 falls tag team matchup. It's going to be the team of Dirty Work, Filthy Tom Lawler, and Fred Rosser going up against the West Coast Wrecking Crew, Royce Isaac and Jarrell Nelson. The last time these two teams went at it, they had an absolute brawl in Washington, D.C. at Capitol Collision with Dirty Work picking up the win. This followed from West Coast Wrecking Crew, who picked up the win over Dirty Work at Resurgence. This rivalry has been going on for the past couple of months, dating back to West Coast Wrecking Crew officially turning on Team Filthy's leader, Filthy Tom Lawler, when he started teaming up with Fred Rosser and became Dirty Work. And it seems like this is like the culmination to it all. 2 out of 3 falls tag team match. Who do you have picking up the win here, J-News? And how riveting has this rivalry been for you?
Well, the to answer the latter part of how riveting this feud has been, it hasn't been riveting to me.
Be honest with the people. Stop lying, man.
In my own personal opinion, I if I'm going to be brash and harsh about this, I just don't give a flying fuck about this entire feud that they've been having. It doesn't interest me at all. That doesn't take away from any of the competitors in the particular happenings. I'm just never been a fan of Tom Lawler. I've never been a fan of the West Coast Wrecking Crew. Fred Rosser, I think, is a terrific talent, an amazing human being. And
he only liked the brother. He only liked the brother, y'all.
Because the brother, at least the brother's entertaining. At least, you know what I'm saying? So I can say that.
Hey, Tom Lawler is entertaining.
Tom Lawler can go suck a fat one, is what he can do. But anyways, I'm
appalled.
I'm tired of this crap with the freaking dirt with all these guys who are part of Team Filth. Just tired of it. I got no love for any of them fools. No love.
Yeah, like Ninja Mortis, you said it best. He says this feud dates back to the pandemic when Team Filthy was going against Fred on Strong. 4 years. Right. NJPW don't think about Strong. It's basically NJPW treats Strong sometimes like AEW treats ROH.
Right, absolutely, and I want to say that this feud has been going on for 4 years, and this ain't got not one iota bit of comparison to the bloodline that's been going on for the same 4-year period. Okay, so
Oh, this is cinema. This is cinema, folks.
let's get rid of this. Let's tie this shit up with a pretty little bow, because the holiday season is coming. Give me the gift that keeps on giving, New Japan Strong, and end this the way it should be ended, with all 4 men on their backs and out of my damn ring. God damn it.
Then you have a 4-way match. Oh, I'm going with in that matchup. I'll go with actually since this should be the blow off. I'll go with Dirty Work. What do you have, Wayne?
I don't know. I don't care.
You got to choose one: Dirty Work or West Coast Wrecking Crew.
You know what? I'm gonna go with Fred getting the pin on whoever, whenever.
He said Fred gets the win.
Fred gets
Team Fred.
Team Fred.
Then we got a very interesting bout here as we're going to determine the new #1 contender for Mercedes Moné's NJPW Strong Women's Championship. It's going to be AEW's Anna Jay versus Stardom's Hazuki, her tag team partner, Koguma, as well as AEW ROH star and NJPW Academy graduate Trish Adora. Of course, Mercedes Moné retained the NJPW Strong Women's Championship at Capital Collision, defeating Stardom's Momo Watanabe. And now she either is going to have to contend with another 2 of the Stardom talent, one or the other, or an AEW talent, which she hasn't been in the ring with quite yet, despite being the TBS champion in Anna Jay and Trish Adora. What do you think about this matchup here, J-News, and who do you got?
So this is interesting, right? Because Hazuki and Koguma are part of the same faction on their side of things.
And they're arguably Stardom's best tag team.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting for them to see them go facing off with each other in their current states. I know AEW's been pushing Anna Jay. I think Anna has improved quite a bit, but there's more work to be done with Anna Jay. So there's that. Trish Adora just became a part of Shane Taylor Promotions. So, there's a little bit of a spotlight for Trish Adora here. But just from a trend standpoint, I feel like being this that it's a New Japan show, being that it's a Strong show, and Strong has always had a good showing for the Japanese the Japanese Joshi wrestlers and stuff like that. I feel like one of the Japanese ladies are going to win. And if they're going to continue in the New Japan Strong feel of things, Mercedes has always been more the face of New Japan Strong than she has been a heel, and Hazuki's really been healing it up as of late. So
yes,
if anything,
she had the recent turn on Starlight Kid.
So if anything, I feel like Hazuki will win this match to face off against Mercedes Moné.
We're gonna have to agree there because I think Hazuki. I think she tore it up with Mercedes last year in the 3-way matchup with Azumi at what was that Sakura Genesis. So I think that it's another opportunity for her to tear it up with Hazuki again, and I think they probably do that matchup as Strong Style Evolved, and it should be a great one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Then we got an interesting tag team matchup here, which could be previewing 1 or 2 teams that might be involved in the World Tag League tournament coming up in December. I said 1 or both. 1 or both here with LIJ's Los Ingonables de Japón, represented by Yota Tsuji and Shingo Takagi, versus the team of the Undisputed Kingdoms, Matt Taven and Mike Bennett. Not much of a backstory to this one. This one was one of the more recently announced matches, but Shingo and Yota Tsuji are coming off a big win, picking up a win over Zack Sabre Jr. and Ryohei Uiwa on the road to Power Struggle. So can they pick up another win here against a former, I believe, Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions and IWGP World Tag Team Champions in Taven and Bennett? What do you think?
I know that at least from what came out of Power Struggle is that Naito and Hiromu are going to be part of Tag League as a team. So I'm not sure if Tsuji and Shingo will be representing LIJ as well. I do recall that several members of the United Empire were part of Tag League last year. So this could be a double, one of those things where they have two teams representing the same faction.
Yeah.
But if this is just an intro to New Japan fans to get used to Matt Taven and Mike Bennett before they re-enter Tag League, it makes a lot of sense. I would like to see that dynamic and how it boils down at Tag League. As for who wins here, I mean, momentum's on the LIJ side, really. So I would probably pick LIJ to win here. Yeah. But I think it'll be fun to see Mike and Matt do their thing.
For all intents and purposes, Undisputed Kingdom are usually job guys. Like, I've seen them lose to Conglomeration. They lose to mismatch tag teams. They used to establish tag teams. I don't see them getting a bigger push on New Japan than they do on AEW. So I think this is the good spot because you got Yota Tsuji, who's going for the global heavyweight champion. You got the never openweight champion in Ren Narita here. I think that it's better for them to get the win over Undisputed Kingdom, but I would not mind if Undisputed Kingdom took the tour for World Tag League and were a part of the tournament.
Yeah. I think that Undisputed Kingdom, I think two teams wouldn't be bad either. Like I liked what the Gates of Agony did last year, so
yeah,
I don't think that would be a bad shoot for them either. So. Yeah. I think LIJ for the win, but just basically, letting the fans see the Undisputed Kingdom again before they go into Tag League makes a lot of sense and stuff like that. So
it does. Then we got a very, very intriguing special singles matchup here as TMDK's mullet himself, Roye Uyowa, going one-on-one with Kenta. These two men have not even history with one another, but a connection of sorts. You had Roye Uyowa, who went on excursion in Pro Wrestling Noah, where really Kenta grew a name for himself and became one of their top draws, their top stars over there in the mid to late 2000s into the 2010s. Kenta is also a graduate and student of the all-time great Kenta Kobashi, and a lot of comparisons has been made to Uyowa, especially coming from his excursion in Noah to Kenta Kobashi. So can Kenta pick up the win over someone who has a style very reminiscent of his teacher?
You know what's interesting? I thought about this yesterday while I was watching Power Struggle, while I was watching the Tai Chi versus David Finlay match. Why does this make any sense, J-News? Tai Chi and Kenta, those two guys I thought about being the last vestiges of a generation. Tai Chi, be it a student of Kawada, and freaking Kenta being a student of Kobashi. Like that generation, that King's Road generation only really has those two guys who are still not, well, they weren't part of that generation, but these are students of that generation. And they're like the last two standing, really, because Taue didn't have any major students that we can think of. Jun Akiyama is still wrestling for all intents and purposes and things of that nature. Misawa, that I was aware of, didn't necessarily have students that stood out like that per se.
Yeah.
So these two guys, me saying Tai Chi and Kenta are like the last vestiges of that style, right? And we saw it with Tai Chi's match at Power Struggle. So with people bringing up the comparisons of like Oiwa to Kenta Kobashi and obviously Kenta being a student of Kobashi, it's like, okay, are we going to get that style of a match here? I'm not sure how much New Japan Strong shows lend to that, but it can. If Kenta wants to show up, you know what I'm saying?
That's the key with Kenta always. Will he show up?
Yeah,
Welcome to the party.
If Lil K wants to show up and burn it down, then by all intents and purposes, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? The dude is considered a Japanese wrestling legend. So, and I feel like, he's got it left in the tank. It's not like he's out, he be lollygagging half the time. He's got shit left in the tank. So, give us something good for the young guy who's getting these comparisons. And I think that'll be if Oiwa gets the win here, right? It'll be a strong bit of momentum going into his triple threat match for the TV title at Wrestle Kingdom, right? Because for right now, for all intents and purposes, Kenta's probably going to be part of the Rambo.
True. True.
He
seems destined for the Rambo.
Yeah. He hasn't had a real role in what's been going on this calendar year at New Japan. You know what I'm saying? So it's I don't. Give me a good match, Kenta. Give me a good match. Give Oiwa a good match here. Send him off with some good momentum, and let's see some real strong style happen in the middle of a New Japan ring.
Yeah, I think that this is a good chance because I think that Oiwa might bring a little bit something more out of Kenta. But I am going to go with Oiwa to get the win. He's the one that's in a big title match coming up at Wrestle Kingdom. He's the one that needs to win more. So despite Kenta being a champion outside of New Japan Pro Wrestling, being the more senior of the two, I think that Oiwa, this would be a huge win for him to kind of finish off 2024 before the big match at the Tokyo Dome for the TV title.
Makes sense.
We got Ninja Mortis who asks, is Chase done? I don't know where Chase Owens is. We'll see. I don't know. I would think that Chase and Kenta would be in the World Tag League, right?
I don't know.
No, they haven't announced any of the official teams for
the actual version of the Bullet Club, non-War Dogs, non-HOT. I don't necessarily know, or the Rogue Army. Remember, they have different splinters.
Yes. Out the torture.
Oh, the Rogue Army. Yeah, Rogue Army's going to show up at Tag League, right? It's got to be Caveman Ugg and Fale.
Hey, Caveman Ugg, he done earned his spot at King of Pro Wrestling.
He earned his spot. So I don't know if any of the other Bullet Club adjacent guys are going to be part of Tag League. So. Yeah, we'll see, man. I'm not sure. I think Chase took some time off, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
He's getting up there in age, so I don't know about his personal life, but hey, I don't think he's done though. Next up, we got a very interesting tag team matchup here, which I think might be my pick to over deliver. I think everything else on this card is going to hit expectations, but I've been really loving Zach in these 2-on-2 tag team matches, previewing big title matches, and I think he'll deliver again here, as it'll be Zack Sabre Jr., the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, teaming up with TMDK's bad dude Tito, the MLW Openweight National Champion, as they will face Shota Umino, the number one contender for the IWGP World Heavyweight title, and Tomohiro Ishii. I feel like this is going to be two different matchups because I feel like Zach and Shooter always have great chemistry with one another and know what the other person is going to do. They do great counter work with one another. And then when Ishii and Bad Dude Tito are in this ring, they're just going to beat the shit out of each other. So
Big Teats! Always a shout out to my main man. That bad.
And I'm going with Shota Umino and Ishii for the win, J-News. The win.
Okay, fair enough. You can go for them for the win. I feel like Big Teats needs more of a spotlight on New Japan Pro Wrestling, doing some good things. And as you said, he is MLW Openweight National Champion, I believe. Big Teats he does good work, man. He does good work. So, props to him.
Shota Umino agenda.
Yeah, I'm not with that agenda, man. I'm just not. I'm not with that agenda at all. It doesn't work for me, brother. So I will say that. And I will say that Zack Sabre Jr. gets the pin on
What does that prove?
Ishii because Shooter doesn't do his part in the match.
See this guy over here, always hating on the Shooter. The Shooter has become his Japanese David Finlay, folks.
No. No.
It's okay. No need to explain to me.
Don't do that. Don't do that. No. I need Shooter to step it up character-wise so that it all makes sense on screen. It hasn't made sense on screen yet.
Ace knows.
Hasn't made sense on screen yet.
Ace
I need
knows
Shooter to step it up.
All right, whatever makes you happy, sir. Whatever makes you happy. Then you got AEW International Championship up for grabs. It will be Konosuke Takeshita going one-on-one with TJP. Takeshita won the AEW International Championship back at Wrestle Dream in one of the best three-way matchups in AEW history. He then went home, but when he returned alongside the Don Callis family, of course, with Don Callis in his corner. He has since defended the International Championship back on Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling a couple of weeks back against Josh Alexander in a great matchup. And then it was announced on social media that Konosuke Takeshita will be on the final two NJPW Strong shows of 2024, starting off with Fighting Spirit Unleashed. He made an open challenge to anyone on the roster to face him for the AEW International Championship, and he said it did not matter if you were heavyweight or you were heel. Will Takeshita Takeshita survive TJP, one half of Catch 2-2, coming off the heels of his loss in the Super Junior Tag League alongside Francisco Akira? Can he come back, bounce back, get his momentum back by winning the international championship? There's been a quest for gold for TJP since he took on the mantle of the leader of United Empire. Can he lead the way by bringing back gold to the faction? J-News.
No. Konosuke Takeshita wins this match. Not going to say with relative ease. I think TJP is going to give him a really, really good match, as TJP has a tendency to do. But he will not win this match, that being TJP. Konosuke Takeshita will hit TJP as hard as possible. He will pull out the prettiest blue thunder bomb that there is in the business, and he will probably take TJP's head off, which will be a welcome sight in a New Japan Strong ring. So that's
why are we coming at TJP now?
Mr. Perkins needs to do something. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about.
This man put on banger after banger in the Super Junior Tag League and the best match of the tournament in the finals.
I'm just saying that TJP's gonna get beat. I'm not saying anything bad about TJP. He's just gonna get beat. That's all it is.
He's a Laker fan. That's why I'm going to defend him. He's a Laker fan.
Nah, see, you done even ruined it even more for me at that point. You know, with this
Laker fan. I'm looking out for TJP, unlike you, J-News.
No, I ain't gonna look out for TJP. Konosuke Takeshita is the big ticket right now, man. He is the future of professional wrestling, and you need to be able to get behind that goddamn wagon because the Don Callis family is gonna lose him sooner rather than later. That's right. That's right.
This man's bugging. Then we got finally for the NJPW Strong Openweight Championship, Gabe Kidd will defend against Kosei Fujita following his victory at Chase Oliver. I'm thinking different stuff. I'm tired. I'm sorry, guys. But following his victory at Capital Collision, Gabe Kidd issued an open challenge to anyone at the next NJPW Strong event, saying that he would face anyone for the NJPW Strong Openweight Championship, and he wanted someone who wasn't a heavyweight. So Kosei Fujita, following Zack Sabre Jr.'s victory at King of Pro Wrestling, becoming the new IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, he said he was going to step up for TMDK, and he was making the challenge to Gabe Kidd for his Strong Openweight Championship. Fujita did not stop there as he teamed up with Robbie Eagles and picked up the victory in Super Junior Tag League. And then even before that, at Royal Quest, he picked up his biggest singles victory yet as he pinned the former British undisputed heavyweight champion Michael Oku in the UK. Fujita looking for his first singles title in his New Japan Pro Wrestling career and wants to become the youngest champion of the Strong Openweight Championship variety. Who do you got here, J-News?
I got the fucking madman, you know. That to me makes the most. If Gabe Kidd's really gonna walk into a Wrestle Dynasty match against Kenny Omega, I'm sorry. I love.
Yeah, you can't lose here.
I love Ichiban Sweet Boy, but he can't lose here. He can't lose here, man. He can't lose here. Shouts to our Chase Oliver because he's been confused for another Chase Oliver online.
This is true. This is true. This is true. If I would have been placing my ballot, it would have been for our Chase Oliver, not the other one.
So there's that. But yeah. Gabe can't lose here. Fujita, I feel like Ichiban Sweet Boy gonna win that tag goal come Wrestle Kingdom, son. So I think he'll rebound from this particular match after Gabe. They'll have him do something else before Wrestle Kingdom, so he can gain some momentum or whatever the case is. But it won't be here against Gabe. Gabe needs to go in strong against Kenny, because then whenever that match with Kenny goes off, it needs to go off without a hitch. And that's what it's all about. But I think that the match itself is probably going to be a really, really good match. Gabe with his stiff ass strong style appeal, Ichiban Sweet Boy with his movement mechanics that he likes to really, really pull off in the ring. So it's going to be a nice battle of styles. So I think it's going to be a good match. And Gabe retains.
War and this Dogs, is the first time Gabe is getting the opportunity to headline a New Japan Strong show.
War Dogs, TMDK, do they necessarily have a strong feud right now?
I mean, after that barn burner in the Super Junior Tag League with TMDK and the War Dogs, I would say I think that rivalry right there is going to be the one that kind of carries the junior tag team division for the rest of going into 2025.
So then does this match end cleanly? Is then
I think it will. Okay. I think it will. Kid got the win over Leo Rush pretty clean in Leo Rush's backyard. I think that he should get the win clean over Fujita. Okay. Well, as clean as Gabe Kidd can do that.
Right. Fair enough.
Well, that brings us to a close here for our Fighting Spirit Unleashed 2024 preview. Me and J-News, will we be back on Monday to review this show?
Yes.
Give you a couple of days to watch it.
Yeah.
There you go.
And mind you, folks, just to let you know, you don't have to pay extra this time around for this New Japan Strong show. It will be part of your New Japan World subscription dollars that you spend on a monthly basis, that $9.99 that I just got charged 2 days ago. So we don't have to pay extra for Fighting Spirit Unleashed. It will be a part of everything that's going down on Friday night. So stay tuned to that. Lowell, Massachusetts, Fighting Spirit Unleashed, New Japan Strong is coming to all of our streaming platforms and all that shit, be it Triller and all that crap or whatever. It'll be on there too. But stay tuned. No extra payments for us. No extra $20 out of my pocket this time around to watch this show. And it should be a good show, man. It should be a good show. I wonder, as they always do, who will end up coming out to challenge who for certain things.
I think we'll get someone coming out after the international championship matchup and possibly after the main event. I think that we'll get the kind of like who's going to challenge Takeshita as Strong Style Evolved in December. We'll find out here. I'm not sure about Zack Sabre Jr. That's why I wouldn't mind if Shooter and Ishii won, and Ishii said I want the shot at the IWGP World Heavyweight title at Strong Style Evolved. Give me that. Why not?
I'm not sure if they'll do that, but stranger things have happened. I for all intents and purposes, I felt like we still have to. I think Strong Style Evolved still coincides, like it's still before the end of Tag League, right?
Let me see.
Yeah,
look it up. Do my thorough research here on the spot. So World Tag League 2024. What is the date on this? Start date. So World Tag League 2024 is going to start on November 19th. So that's 2 days after a historic crossover. When does it end? And it ends. The final is going to be December 8th. So I think that's after. I think Strong Style Evolve is after the end of World Tag League.
Okay, because
Strong Style Evolve is basically the final big show for New Japan. It seems, yeah. Strong Style Evolve 2024. It was giving me 2018 state. That's going to be December 15th, so a week after the World Tag League Finals.
Because then I would say that we'll probably get challengers for the Never Openweight Strong tag team belts as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's a good shot too after during
maybe the winner of Dirty Work and West Coast Wrecking Crew. They could just move on. They could move on, and the winner gets a shot at the Strong Openweight Tag Team titles. So that's why Dirty Work should get the win.
No.
And then Dirty Work wins the titles from GYV at Strong Style Evolved in Tom Lawler's backyard of California.
Go ahead with that, SP3. Go ahead, man. Go ahead. That's all you, brother. That's all you. I ain't got nothing. I got nothing.
Well, thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us for I'm still calling it Strong Style, our Fighting Spirit Unleashed 2024 preview. Thank you, guys. We'll be back to review this show coming up on Monday. We'll talk about it a little on the flagship podcast on Sunday, 11:05 a.m. Eastern Time. Of course, I will be back with you guys live tomorrow, 1:05 p.m. Eastern Time with AE Ramble, the best AEW Dynamite review in the land. Me and Jimmy Macaram reviewing not only tonight's AEW Dynamite, but also WWE NXT, because the Wednesday Night Wars are back again. They're back again as NXT is going to be in the ECW arena. So we'll review both shows and let you know who we thought quality-wise won the Wednesday Night War tomorrow at 1:05 p.m. Eastern Time. But J-News, thank you as always for joining me for the New Japan goodness. We missed you. We missed you so much. So I'm glad to be having you back on Monday. Sanal will be with us on Monday to review Fighting Spirit Unleashed as well. But J-News, want to give you the floor. Let everybody know where they can follow you on social media when they will see you again.
All right, folks, you can always follow me on social media on the Twitter /X space at John LYFNMG. You can follow me on the Instagram at _JONJY. You will see me again here on True Heel Heat next Monday as we review Fighting Spirit Unleashed. And you can also catch me every Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the YouTube, on my specific YouTube channel, John LYFNMG, or the lovely Dolores' YouTube channel, as we do our weekly wrestling podcast. That is the Hit the Ropes podcast. You can catch me there every Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as well. And then, as SP3 was saying about the New Japan stuff, after Fighting Spirit Unleashed, we'll have the beginning of, we're going to have a couple of weeks between historic crossover, then the beginning of Tag League, and then obviously Tag League Finals, and then Strong Style Evolved at the end of December. So stay tuned for all that and all the other happenings that are going on. You will be seeing your good brother J-News back at it again here on True Hill Heat.
Indeed. You can follow me on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSP3. You can follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at True Hill Heat. Patreon.com/True Hill Heat. $3 a month gets you exclusive content. That is probably the place where you could check out me and J-News for our World Tag League preview. So whenever the teams are announced, the block format is announced, now that we got it straight on when that's going down, we can give you that preview over at patreon.com/True Hill Heat. So go over there and show your support in that way as well. Like I said before, I will be back live with you tomorrow for AE Ramble. But in the meantime, between time, check out all the great content we got on the channel, like our NJPW Power Struggle 2024 review with myself and Sanal. You can check out our WWE Crown Jewel review with myself, True Draw Josh, and our boy Robert D. Felice from Fightful. Check out the True Hill Heat flagship podcast, True Hill Heat 301, from this past Sunday with myself, Top Guy JJ, and the True Draw Josh. And check out Rated Raw Review number 42, Sammy Uso, with me and Romeo breaking down this week's Monday Night Raw. For J-News, it is me, your True Hill Phenom, SP3. This has been our NJPW Fighting Spirit Unleashed 2024 preview. We are signing off until next time.